The Regional Anti-Cybercrime Unit 11 or RACO 11 would like to remind the public that social media is not a place where person can make threats without consequences. So we are particularly concerned sa mga messages, comments, posts at mga accounts making statements such as papatayin ko kayo, mamamaril ako sa school, may bomba sa school, or similar threats of violence. Whether the post was made as a joke, out of anger, for attention, or with actual intent to carry it out. Such statements must be taken seriously and properly investigated. So, what law may apply sa mga nagpo-post ng mga ganito sa social media or sa internet? One of the primary offenses that may be considered is grave threats under Article 282 of Revised Penal Code. Article 282 covers threats involving the infliction upon a person, honor, property, or family of a wrong amounting to a crime. For example, yung mga nag-circulate ngayon sa social media na papatay sa school, may bomba sa school. So, that violation may fall sa Article 282 of RPC. So, when the threat is made through social media, since posted to sa internet, under Republic Act 10175 or Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012, lahat po ng mga crimes, mapa-RPC man yan or special law, kapag committed ng through ICT or mga devices, yung penalty generally imposed 1 degree higher. So mas mabigat po ang penalty kapag ginamitan na ng devices at pasok sa cybercrime. So ang akala kasi ng mga nagpo-post sa social media, mananatili silang anonymous. So sa cybercrime, iniimbestigahan namin at meron kaming proper coordination at through legal process, we can identify yung mga owner ng mga accounts na nagpo-post ng ganito sa internet. So for threats of school shootings man yan or bomb threat, katulad ng papatay ako sa school, mamamaril ako sa school, these are not statements that law enforcement can simply ignore. So lahat ng mga nare-receive namin ganitong reports, tinitake namin to as serious dahil hindi natin alam baka gawin talaga na nag-post. So, ang investigation sa aming office, magpre-preserve kami ng mga digital evidences, continuous monitoring sa mga accounts, at proper coordination sa appropriate authorities para ma-identify at ma-file ng case itong mga nag-post ng ganito sa internet. Ipaalala lang namin na dummy accounts are not shield. To those who believe that they can simply create a dummy account and threaten people, do not assume that a dummy account means you cannot be identified. Our investigators can preserve available account information and digital evidence, and when legally appropriate, pursue the necessary cybercrime warrants and court orders to obtain information from service providers. This may include information such as subscriber details, available account records, IP-related information, and other relevant digital evidence, subject to applicable law and legal process. So what happens after a threat is reported? So let me explain lang po clearly. So sa mga nakaka-receive po ng mga ganitong threats, i-report nyo po agad. If you see a credible threat against a person, school, or community, do not ignore it and do not simply share it further. Kasi kapag share po ito, mas magpapanig po ang community. So kapag naka-receive kayo ng ganitong threat, i-report agad sa nearest police station, sa office po na anti-cybercrime, at sa school authorities. Step 2, preserve the digital evidence. So kapag nakakita kayo ng ganong message, post to social media, i-screenshot nyo po yung account name, profile URL, or account ID, date and time, exact threatening statement, comments and reactions when relevant, any photographs, videos, links, or attachments. If possible, preserve the original URL and do not edit or alter the evidence. Sa investigation naman po, our personnel may undertake appropriate preservation measures and coordinate with concerned online platform or service provider. The objective is to preserve available information before it is deleted, deactivated, overwritten, or otherwise becomes unavailable. So we encourage ang public na kapag nakakita kayo ng ganitong post, i-screenshot nyo po agad at i-report. So sa identification naman po, law enforcement may pursue the identity of the account user through the appropriate cybercrime warrants, court orders, and lawful requests to service providers. This process takes time because we have to follow the law and respect the due process. So sa filing naman po, once the investigation establishes sufficient evidence and identifies the responsible person, the appropriate complaint may be prepared and filed before the proper prosecutorial authority, subject to the requirement of the law. Do not wait for the threat to become real. So, kami sa PNP, we do not wait for someone to actually shoot, bomb, or hurt someone before we take a threat seriously. So, kapag na-receive namin yung report, immediately, meron kami action taken, may coordination agad, at meron agad investigation na kinakandak. So, message to students, teachers, and parents, if you encounter a post saying may bomba sa school, mamaril ako bukas, or kung anumang date yan, papatayin ko kayo, do not laugh it off. Kasi hindi natin alam, baka seryoso yung nag-post. So kapag nakita kayo ng ganong post, wag nyo po i-repost at i-preserve agad yung nakitang post by taking screenshots. Message naman sa mga nagte-threaten online, mga nagpo-post ng mga ganitong threats. Think before you post. You may believe that you are anonymous. You may believe that because you are using fake name, nobody will find you. You may believe that saying joke lang will automatically erase your responsibility. This is not how the law works. Every threat will be evaluated based on its words, context, circumstances, intent, and available evidence. Social media is not outside the reach of the law. If you make threat online, be prepared to answer for it through the proper legal process. At Taku 11, our message is simple. Report early, preserve the evidence, do not share the threat further, let the law enforcement investigate. As member of the PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group, we remain committed to protecting our communities in the digital environment. We carry with us the mission of the PNP-ACG and remain guided by the leadership and direction of our Director, Police Major General Wilson C. Asweta, in ensuring that our cybercrime investigations are conducted professionally, lawfully, and with the protection of the public as our authority. To everyone using social media, think before you post, think before you threaten, and if you see a threat, report it. Taku 11 is here to assist, investigate, and protect. Thank you.
May ano na po ba tayo, tawag nito, mga na-identify na doon sa mga nag-post ng mga threats ng schools natin?
Base sa mga na-imbestigahan namin, meron naman na, no? So ongoing pa rin yung investigation para ma-file ng charges itong mga nagpo-post sa social media.
Mga ilan po yun, sir? At saka yung profile po, if meron na po kayo, yung ano lang, yung basic lang yun, yung age, possible age, or ano ba ito, estudyante ba ito?
May mga minors din, may mga ganon. At saka yung mga information na nag-gather namin is ano pa confidential pa, no? So let our investigation muna
Mailan yun, sir? Mailan yung na-identify?
May with proper coordination sa appropriate authorities sa mga na-receive namin complaints, may mga reply naman yung mga authorities na to na kasama yung mga names na yun. So last year we received 6 reports regarding this sa ganitong incident. Ngayon namang taon, 10 kasi mas significant po yung increase ng mga ganitong incident ngayong taon.
So first 6 months pa lang, sir, meron ng 10?
10 meron.
Sa mga paaralan yan.
Puro mga threats po sa schools. Sa Davao City.
Yung ano, sir, yung mga, yung based sa IP address, Davao City yung ginamit ng device.
Mayroon din sa ibang area.
Pero usually Davao City.
Meron po na nagpiping po dito.
Davao City. Tapos of this 10, may mga minors.
Mataas yung chance na talagang minors yun.
Ano kaya yung mga ano si sir, possible na ano dito, no, parang nagtulak sa mga kasi yung sa city ay wala namang exam. Kasi usually yun yung yung ginagamit, parang tawag nito yung parang tinatawag natin na yung possible na nag-drive sa is exam. So, ano kaya possible po sir on the part of the cybercrime?
Ang isang tinitignan namin yung reason is nagiging trendy kasi siya sa mga kabataan. So nakikisabay sa uso na for the clout to tawagin. So isa yan sa reason, no? Pero isa rin na tinitignan namin yung kapag malapit na talaga yung exam day. Diyan na talaga yung maraming mga post at messages na ganito.
Pero usually sir, pag clout, dapat you are into fame, no? Gusto mo makilala, but usually, alam ko ito ay mga dummy accounts.
Yes. For example, gagawa sila ng dummy account tapos magpo-post ng gano'n. Sa mga magtotropa, pwede nilang iyabang na account ko to, nag-post ko, at nag-post ng ganito. So, yun yung possible
May
na
cases na ganyan.
may ganun, no, ma'am?
Accomplishment.
Ano po sir, ilang beses po sa isang buwan sir, meron po bang mga schools and saan po ba galing ito? Is it coming from the private or public schools po ang kadalasan?
Madalas, base sa data namin, sa mga public schools talaga. From public schools. So, may mga actually, ang nangyayari, yung school, nagre-report sa nearest police station, then yung police station, nagko-coordinate sa office namin. So, sa mga request nila from talaga, public school, yung nakaka-receive ng ganitong threats.
Most often than not sir, ano po ba yung sir, kwento nila sir? May gagaling po ba or within their peers lang or doon po talaga sa authorities like student teachers?
May mga ganong threat na galit siya sa teacher, meron din galit siya sa classmate niya kasi binubuli siya. May ganong type of threats.
Okay. So, in this case, sir, how are we handling or treating this kind of, sir, yung mga threat? Are we going to go to the school to investigate or ano po kung siya natin?
Ang coordination namin is sa police station kasi sa anti-cybercrime, we provide technical assistance. So, nagpre-preserve kami ng digital evidences, continuous online monitoring sa account. So, kung ano yung mga possible na nakalink sa account na yun, no? Para may lead tayo. At isa rin, nagre-raise din kami ng awareness kasi itong mga nag-send at nagpo-post ng mga ganitong threats, akala kasi nila is hindi sila liable at hindi sila na-identify. So, through awareness, mababawasan natin yung mga ganitong incident.
Since you are not in that line of business, sir, is the presence of the uniform personnel, police, yung security and the likes, are they deterrent in committing this kind of, yung mag-escalate na po yung ulo, in particular sa school?
recent may nakita akong post no sa Davao City National High School, 'di ba? Haba ng pila kung nakita niyo, 'di ba? So napakahalaga at napakagandang ginawa ng kapulisan natin para hindi mangyari yung threat nila. So isang malaking bagay yun to deter yung possible na crime na i-commit nitong mga non-threat natin. So yun sir, sa local police station, mga kabaro natin na bumonitor din, no? For security, para mapanatili yung safety ng bawat estudyante at as well as yung mga teachers.
Last question, when you intercept this kind of messages, sino pong inuutan natin na ini-inform? Is it the school authority for them to be aware na may mga ganitong nangyayaring threat sa school nila or sa kabaro din po natin para mapuntahan po kasi it would be police, it would be one po sir kasi parang magiging alanganin po yung may presence ng uniform personnel inside the premises of the school. Parang it would be absurd para po sa paningin ng iba na may police talaga, yes. Paano po natin na-handle ito sa ganito?
Based sa ginagawa ng kapulisan, meron namang pumapasok sa school na hindi naka-uniform. So, mas maganda siguro sir no, i-refer ko to sa local police station kasi sa cybercrime kasi kami. So, regarding dyan sa sa police dun sa schools, I think mas better ang sumagot dyan is yung sa local police
Thank
station.
you po. Sa last
dummy accounts, how fast and efficient is your investigation, and what are those challenges, especially those social media users using VPN, burner phones? How do you track that, especially tracking digital footprints?
So, regarding niya sa pag-identify at pag-track, isa sa challenge yan is maproseso, pero we can identify. So, through with coordination din sa mga service providers, legal authorities na talagang nagbibigay din ng information. So, with that, malaking bagay yan para ma-proceed ang investigation namin. So, medyo mahirap, no? Pero kaya. Kasi, dahil ang investigation nito is online. So, yun ang challenge, no? Medyo maproseso kasi. So, hindi kasi ganun din ka-instant. So, honestly speaking, ganun, no? Pero kaya. Dahil meron kasi tayong legal procedure na sinusunod. So, hindi basta-basta yung ganito lang gawin. So, ang pagkanta kasi ng investigation ng PNP Anti-Cybercrime is through with legal process, no? Hindi ang mga digital evidences kasi hindi mo basta-basta pwede gamitin. So, halimbawa, nakita mo lang online, pwede na, no? So, meron tayong batas na sinusunod para magamit yung mga digital evidences obtained online. So, yun po, ma'am.
Do we keep pace with our rapid advancement in technology, especially here in the cybercrime unit?
What do you mean?
In terms of investigation, do we keep pace with yung rapid advancement ng technology? For sure, you are using technology in identifying perpetrators. So, do we keep pace yung mga technological advancement natin sa cybercrime?
Polino, itong advancement ng technology, nakita namin to as double-edged, no? So, pwedeng makatulong sa investigation, no? Ang mahirap lang, itong advancement ng technology, ginagamit din ng mga cyber criminals. So, buti na lang, supportive din ng ang higher head office para makatulong sa investigation namin, no? As well as yung mga LGU din. So, malaking bagay yun para makapag-proceed kami sa investigation.
May mga last question, may mga napanagot na po ba tayo in relation to the school friends?
Marami na po kami na file na case, no? Lalo na sa mga scam. So, buti na lang talaga, cooperative din ang mga service providers, no? Para ma-disclose yung mga information ng mga perpetrators. So yun, marami kaming na-filean na at nalabasan na rin ng warrant at na-implement na rin. So,
I'm sorry, but gano'ng karami yung marami?
Only wala akong data pero I can assure you na marami talaga.
Last question na lang talaga. How about challenge natin kung ang perpetrator is a minor? Especially itong mga school friends, mga estudyante lang din.
So, sa Juvenile Justice Act, diba, kapag 14 below, absolute, no? So, yung 15 and 1 day, 15 years old and 1 day hanggang 18. So, mayroon kasing kailangan kasi may assessment with DSWD, di ba? Kailangan may discernment. So, doon din malalaman kung mapafilan ba ng case yung minor na to. So, kapag ganyan ang case, so meron talagang coordination sa DSWD, ang PNP.
So may mga cases tayo na identified 14 below. So wala lang. Nasa DSWD na lang.
DSWD na po ang bahala.
So sila na.
Yes.
So, maraming cases na na-handle eh.
May ganun po. At nagkakandak din kami ng rescue operations sa din. Kasi kailangan may intervention ng mga minors na to.
Siyempre, in your investigation, kasama kayo sa mga naging interview dun sa mga perpetrators, especially minors. Ano yung sabi nila? Isa ba dun sa factor is parang they're confident na hindi makukulong?
Isa rin yan, no? Kasi ang pagkakaintindi kasi nila sa batas, absolute sila, no? Absolute sila na walang liability. So, isa rin yan na kaya malakas ang loob ng mga minors to commit crime online.